All right, today we're diving into Caernarfon Castle. And let me tell you, this place, it's so much more than just a pile of old stones. It's really a story of power, of conquest, and a legacy that, you can still feel in Wales today. I mean, just look at these walls. They're absolutely massive. And yeah, you might think, okay, another old castle ruin. But nope. These walls were built to send a message that was loud and clear for centuries to come. And what was that message? Well, it's basically a declaration of power, right? It's cast in stone, built with one single ruthless goal in mind: complete and utter domination. This thing was truly forged in conquest.
So to really get this castle, you've got to get inside the head of the guy who built it, King Edward I. Because for him, this wasn't just some construction project. Oh no, this was a masterpiece of military strategy, and it had a seriously sharp political edge.
I mean, where they chose to build it wasn't an accident. It wasn't just strategic. It was deeply, deeply symbolic. Every single tower, every stone, it was all a calculated flex of English authority. It was designed to do one thing: intimidate and control the Welsh people they had just conquered. It was basically a giant line drawn in the sand, except, this line was made of stone. So you have to wonder, right? How on earth do you build something this huge back in the 13th century? Just try to map your head around the sheer scale of it all. We're talking decades of backbreaking work, and all of it was happening while rebellions and wars were constantly flaring up. It's just incredible. So, things kick off in 1283. But this was, well, it was anything but a peaceful construction site. Just a few years in, this exact spot becomes the scene of a crushed Welsh rebellion. I mean, think about that for a second. They were literally building the castle during the very conflict it was meant to put down. This project went on for decades, just this constant looming symbol of who was in charge now. And the look of the castle, the style, that's pure Gothic. And that was totally on purpose. This wasn't about making it look pretty. Nah. Every single feature, those crazy polygonal towers, the sharp angular battlements, it all had a double job. Job one, be an insanely effective fortress. Job two, make anyone who looked up at it feel a mix of total awe and probably a good amount of fear. All right, let's step inside, shall we? I want you to imagine you're there, back in the 13th century. Maybe you're a guest, or maybe you're part of an army trying to attack it. What would you see? What are you up against? Okay, so if you were trying to attack this place, good luck. It was an absolute nightmare, by design. It's a fortress built in layers. First, you've got these huge moats to deal with. If you somehow get across those, you're suddenly staring up at this confusing maze of massive stone walls. And the entire time, you are a sitting duck for archers picking you off from those perfectly placed towers. This thing was engineered to be pretty much unbeatable. Your first stop and your biggest problem is the gatehouse. This was the heart of the whole defense system, and it is an absolute beast of a building. We're not talking one gate, but two giant, heavy gates. The whole thing was designed to be the ultimate choke point, basically a death trap for any army dumb enough to try and force their way in. But here's the twist. Once you're actually inside the walls, the vibe completely changes. It shifts from pure, brutal defense to showing off royal splendor. See, this wasn't just a military base. Inside, it was a full-blown royal palace. The Great Hall, for example, is just enormous. The ceilings are sky-high. This was built for huge state dinners and fancy court parties. This is where the king showed off just how rich and powerful he was. And that show of power didn't stop there. It even extended to religion and spirituality. The castle had its own chapel, dating all the way back to the 13th century. Can you just picture it? A quiet, sacred space with beautiful stained glass windows where the whole royal court could worship, all tucked away safely inside these massive fortress walls. Okay, so obviously the big battles and fancy banquets are long gone. So why do we still care so much about Caernarfon Castle today? What's its story now? Let's take a look at how it went from being this medieval fortress to a true modern icon. Well, for starters, its global importance is official. It was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site back in 1999, and that's a huge deal. It's basically the world saying, yep, this is one of the best examples of 13th century military architecture you'll find anywhere. It's just a stunning testament to the skill and the sheer ambition of the people who built it. And that official status, it definitely translates into popularity. Get this.
Over 400,000 people walk through these gates every single year. It's one of the biggest tourist draws in all of Wales. It's truly a living piece of history that people just flock to see.
But its impact goes way beyond just tourism. I mean, it's been immortalized in paintings by masters like J.M.W. Turner. For historians, it's a total treasure trove, just packed with medieval artifacts. And get this, when they started digging around underneath, they found even older secrets like Roman mosaics. That just goes to show you how long this exact spot has been important.
And all of this brings us to a really interesting final thought. This castle was born from conquest, right? It was a symbol of English domination over Wales. But today, it's celebrated as a huge icon of Welsh heritage and history. So, what do these walls really represent now? Are they a painful reminder of oppression, or are they a powerful icon of history? Maybe the real answer is they're both.